couldn't be eaten with fingers, and improved by doing so. Ripping the parson's nose off the roast chicken before it gets anywhere near the table is entry-level stuff. A middle and index finger can do amazing things with a bowl of risotto. They make a pretty effective tool, and can also bring the comforting taste of your own skin to the party. All shellfish, whether hot or cold, in shell or out, are intensely tactile. So are roasted vegetables and salads and soup. Of course soup. Just pick up the bloody bowl. And ice cream. There is true delight in the heat of your mouth, warming the chilled tips of your fingers as you lick away the mess. Although I accept this only really works with soft Italian-style gelato or something extruded from a van with the words Mr. Whippy emblazoned on the side, or the good ice cream, as it's known. The idea of there being virtue in the experience of hot mouth on cold skin is not fanciful. The fact is that when you eat with your hands, you're bringing the sense of touch into play alongside that of taste and smell. Charles Spence, Professor of Psychology at Oxford University and author of The Perfect Meal, The Multisensory Science of Food and Dining, is clear it has a major impact. As he says, quote, "Already we know that the feel of the texture in the hand can change the perceived texture of food in the mouth when people eat half-fresh, half-stale bagels," though he adds, more work has to be done. In her 1991 book, The Rituals of Dinner, the journalist, writer and broadcaster Margaret Visser goes further. To people who eat with their fingers, she writes, hands seem cleaner, warmer, more agile than cutlery. Hands are silent, sensitive to texture and temperature and graceful, providing, of course, that they have been properly trained. Amen to that. I spend an awful lot of time training mine. As Spence explains in his book, there is evidence that when you eat with your hands, you eat less. A knife and fork, especially a fork, are such efficient instruments that you can simply shovel away in a mechanical action from elbow to wrist to mouth, which has its own compelling rhythm. Using your hands forces you to concentrate on what you're doing, to look at your plate and examine exactly what's going on down there. If this thought does not interest you, then you're simply not greedy enough. Turn this book off. Go find something else to do. Take up woodwork. Today, we tend to regard the use of cutlery and the kind used as a mark of sophistication. It was not always this way. While there's evidence of spoons fashioned from shells and animal horns right from the very cradle days of human civilization, for a very long time, the cutlery drawer in the Western world depended mostly on the knife for cutting off lumps of what was wanted. According to the California Academy of Sciences, which houses the Wright's collection of food technology, East Asia has had chopsticks in one form or another for about 5,000 years. The fork, the mother and father of all modern cutlery, is first documented during the Byzantine Empire, according to Spence. St. Peter Damian, a hermit and ascetic, laid in to the Venetian princess Maria Argyra specifically because she used one. Such was the luxury of her habits, he wrote, that she deigned not to touch her food with her fingers, but would command her eunuchs to cut it up into small pieces, which she would impale on a certain golden instrument with 2 prongs, and thus carry to her mouth. The woman had eunuchs, for God's sake. Of course she refused to eat with her hands. As another member of the clergy present at the dinner put it, as quoted by Chad Ward in an article on the website Leets Culinaria, God, in his wisdom, has provided man with natural forks, his fingers. Therefore, it is an insult to him to substitute artificial metal forks for them when eating. Bugger God, it's just nowhere near as fun. The fork did not arrive in Europe until the 1630s, and did not become broadly popular until the 19th century. Louis XIV, whose reign saw its arrival, banned his children from eating with them, and the English aristocracy regarded them as effeminate. Unfortunately, I recognise that the homophobia of the English aristocracy undermines my argument somewhat. If it was seen as a bad thing by people who gained their wealth solely because of whose vagina they came out of, then we should probably all be for it. Then again, the enemy of your enemy need not always be your friend. Happily, some big-name chefs now agree with me. Just a few years ago, at his Los Angeles restaurant A-Frame, Korean-American chef Roy Choi was actively encouraging his customers not to use cutlery. "You eat with conviction and passion when using your hands," he told the New York Times in 2012. I hope that people let their guard down and throw out some of the rules we have regarding etiquette and connect like animals.